Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Moment with Gabby. I am your host Gabrielle Mosa. Today we're going to be talking about gender-based violence, what exactly gender-based violence is, the causes, the effects, and the various forms of gender-based violence. Stay tuned for more. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Karibu sana.
Asante.
So tell us, who is Simaloi and where is she from?
My name is Catherine Simaloy. Simaloy is an outspoken lady coming from Kajiado County, Olkeri Ward. She's also a mother of one
Oh, that's like
5-year-old boy and sign language interpreter by profession and gender-based violence champion and an activist as well. And yeah, I think that's it.
So yeah, like a Wall Street, you have various titles.
Yeah.
So you're mostly known for your activism against gender-based violence. Where did that stem from? Your passion towards it?
My passion towards it, I can say that officially started 2020 when we had the pandemic, because I saw an advert. I saw an advert from Africa Union, and they were looking for youth from Africa who can be able to help in campaigning, reimagining Africa without child marriage. And so I had to think about it, because in the previous years I was actually focused on sign language, and I was working with a media station. And at some point then, when the pandemic happened, most of the workers were laid off, and then some lost their jobs, and that's how it is. So I had actually lost my job because I was then working officially at a school setup. And so we closed and we had to go back home. So I went back home, and I felt actually not doing anything, and I'm so idle. So when I saw the advert, I decided to work on it, and I actually worked on it one day before deadline. So I applied for it, and I actually was successful. I was one of the 200 applicants who were selected. And after that, so we actually went the same very day the selection was done. We started to have discussions, and so they said that we're going to put you into groups, breakouts, and then in these breakouts now you will be given something to work on, every topic to work on, but the main focus is to reimagine Africa without child marriage. And so from the breakout that I was group number 7. We were told them your creativity is what will make you win. And so we had actually to brainstorm and think of everything that will actually make us get this. And it was a cash prize. So we were like, we can't lose this money. And it's not during the pandemic. So no, nobody has money. We are looking for money. So that's how we worked it out. And because I had skills in sign language, I was like, oh, let us see whether we can actually do this in sign language. So one of you, because we were from different parts of Africa, different countries, so it was like, I can actually provide sign language from everything that you'll be doing, and also can look for an influencer who uses sign language. And thought of my friend who is a rapper, and I was like, okay, let me talk to him and see whether he can help us with advocacy. And the main advocacy, we were doing it on Twitter. So after doing it and after fighting for it, eventually we won. From that point, I realized, so I have a capability to run an advocacy against child marriage, early child marriage, and teen pregnancies, and gender-based violence.
Okay. Let's talk about gender-based violence. Most people think gender-based violence is just physical abuse on either gender. What exactly is the definition, or what exactly is gender-based violence?
Gender-based violence is a situation where somebody is infringing your rights. And it's not necessarily physical.
Yeah.
It's actually psychological, social, and economical. Because you find that if someone is actually not letting you do what can make you get money, then that person is actually violating your rights. Yeah. If someone is hitting you now and then, that is actually infringing to your rights. Then you find there's some people who will actually not say that they're hitting you physically, but the words that are coming out of their mouth is actually making you have emotional issues and you can't think right. You then go into depression or have issues with your mental. So that's actually violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's physical, economical, and emotional. And what's out of the economical aspect?
If someone is actually blocking my way to get money, you are infringing my rights, and this is violence.
Yeah.
I need to act on it.
True.
I need to make sure that I can do this. It is my right to get what I want.
Yeah.
So let me pave the way. Let me go get money. If it's too much, we can think about it. We can think on how actually we're going to work it out.
True.
Yeah.
What would you say is the leading cause of gender-based violence in Kenya today?
Poverty. We have actually forgotten that poverty is making us go into issues with GBV. Because we have families who are coming for a low income.
Yeah.
And you are thinking, how best can I improve my life? How best can I make sure that I am doing something or I actually can get this on table? You end up being into, let's talk about the relationship part of it. You end up involving or getting yourself into a relationship that at the end of the day, your rights are being violated.
True.
And you just tend to sit down and wonder, what actually?
Yeah.
But it's because I need the money.
Yeah.
I need the basic needs to be able to continue with life. And the other thing that actually can lead, it's lack of awareness, lack of sensitization, lack of education.
True.
Because if all these things are not put into place, then definitely we will fight and we are not actually getting what we actually want. Yeah.
Poverty. And what would you say is the main form of gender-based violence? Is it FGM? Is it early child marriages? Is it physical abuse? Which one is the most rampant that is currently happening right now?
All of them, they work contrary together, but the early child marriage is actually a big issue.
Yeah.
Most of the girls are getting married before their 18th birthday. These girls, they know nothing to do with family. They do not know how to be responsible.
True.
They are kids.
Yeah.
They need their parents' support. But now, the poverty that our parents have is making them to look for wealth via getting their children get married, because it's like barter trade. It's an exchange. So you go get married, I get what I'm getting, and life continues. But put yourself in that kid's situation. This child knows nothing. She's actually from a poor family. Let's talk about from the outskirts where most of them are not accessing education, but thanks God right now at least education is accessible actually into most places. So there is no education provided for this girl. So if she's getting into that marriage, number one, I think marriage, how they say it, because when you know nothing, it's giving birth. So this girl will start giving birth. Then she will grow with the mentality of, now my kids will grow and then I will do the same thing that happened to me. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we really doing? So early child marriage is actually the worst thing that is making us to run into GBV. And if only we can get people who are helping us to actually save on these girls and at least go to school, get education or acquire skills and become independent and actually do decisions by themselves. it's going to be easier because if I know my rights and know what I'm supposed to do, you cannot just come and inflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that leads me to the question: do you think the government is doing enough about it?
Currently, yes.
Really?
Yes. Because I love actually there is a group called Spouses for Governors, the first ladies. Most of them, they're actually fighting against gender-based violence. They are looking for ways on how they can actually make sure people understand what is gender-based violence.
Yeah.
Because let me just put it in an easy way. If I am a woman who is married to a man who thinks he can overrule me, and then here comes an intervention where I'm going to get skills and do something, let's say the business skills on maybe bidding or tailoring or something. If I do that work and sell a little bit of these things, then definitely this guy will come home, he will find food, get everything. Have I not solved things? Yeah. The government is doing a lot. They are providing skills, technical skills. They are helping on mental health, having the conferences or bringing all women together and doing the sensitization and telling them, as a woman, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
This is what you are supposed to do if you are married or not married. And so they are doing a lot. I would like to applaud the Ministry of Health and also the Ministry of Labor. They are trying. They're trying at least to get people speak about it. And the best way they are doing it is by having the survivors doing it. Because if it has not happened in your radius, you will never know what is happening. Let's get someone who is a victim, who is a survivor, and tell the rest, this is what you can do, this is how we can actually work and have everything working.
I love how the government is actually doing something. So in gender-based violence, there's physical abuse, emotional abuse, and economical abuse, especially in marriages. And people really ask this question: why do people stay, or what makes the woman? Okay, let's talk about the woman in this case. Why do women stay in such compromising situations?
It's funny though, as we are this generation that will not entertain anything. But let me answer your question. The reason as to why women stay, it's for their kids. It's because of the system. It's because of some of our parents. Unatoka uende wapi? Why are you leaving your marriage? Why? So they stay to protect the family, the marriage. They want to show you that how good is working as much as they are suffering. And they are staying also because they don't know what the society will think of them. And you don't want to become a laughing stock in the society. So you are like, let me just stay, be patient until the end of days. And people will not gossip about me.
They won't talk about me.
That is the situation, of which it is not good.
That's true.
If things are not working, leave. They normally say that go, take your time, think about it. Come together, talk. If it is totally unable, part ways. Just go. You never know. I usually say that I love God because God has purpose for each and every one of us. God saw me getting into that marriage. He has been watching me suffering. He is the same God who is going to help me the moment I make a decision of leaving. And we don't know. We are passing into paths. So this path is up and down. Maybe I was to go into that marriage, get children, and leave. Who knows? Maybe I was to just come and try to help someone else. If it is not working, leave.
If it's not working, leave.
Leave.
And we mostly talked about gender-based violence against women, yet there's gender-based violence also against men. Do you think the society, or do you think people are really talking about how the men are also being abused?
Yes, people are now talking about men. We are losing men.
Yeah, we are.
Men are actually committing suicide. Some are just getting into depression in a way that we cannot even control. So we are trying as much as we can to talk even to men. But you know, the thing is with men, you will never know when a man is suffering.
True.
Until you start seeing it physically, because they just keep quiet. And the society has taught them that even if you're having an issue, please try and solve it by yourself. So how are we going actually to make sure that we actually want them to speak up? What are we going to do? How best can we express ourselves to tell them that, please, you as a gentleman, when you're having issues, talk to me. There are very few men who will talk to you. There are very few who will just open up. And they are suffering, especially in marriages. And he will never say anything.
Yeah.
But these are the people who are talking. They are able to navigate and see how best my marriage can be. Yes, I want to show that I am the man. You know, nagonga kifua. I am a man. But at least speak up. Tell someone. If you're not going to tell me as a woman,
Yeah, talk to someone.
Talk to someone who you trust, who you think will not actually use your situation to move into another level, because you know some people are doing that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would say is, you see, men normally say what? That we are opening to you as our wives, but after we get back together normally and things are going good, and then somehow then the issue happens, we as women, we're also using what they were telling us as a way of fighting them. You know, the cold fight.
True.
So you're trying to now again to escalate the problem to where it was. And what then are you going to do? You will bury your husband. Nothing else. You will find him hanging at the roof. You will see this man, he lost his job. He's actually, yes, waking up and going to work, but he's just doing that because it is a norm. But he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
How will you even know? And I love to see some of these activists who are coming up with the activities, at least to involve men and make them aware that, yes, you are a human being. You also have issues with your mentor. So speak up. They're giving them spaces.
Yeah.
And you know, we also have men who are actually fighting FGM. There's an organization that I normally follow up where they're doing their advocacy. You see, when men are getting into this other side of it, now we as women who are actually fighting against gender-based violence, we actually help them to bring more men. And when we are all coming in together, things are working. Yeah, and men are now saying that, yeah, now I think I can speak up. And we tend to say that, okay, because things are not working, let's go to a psychiatrist. But who is this psychiatrist? How best is he or she going to make sure that he has actually reunited the family? Yeah, that is the biggest worry.
So we should also take care of the men in our society. It's a nice. It's been a great conversation going, and we're going to take a break. And in the upcoming segment, we're going to talk about the effects of GBV and the solutions, and what a GBV victim can do. Welcome back to this new segment. In this segment, we'll be talking about the effects of gender-based violence, the solutions, and advice for people who have been victims of gender-based violence. So what are some of the effects of gender-based violence?
The biggest of it all is stress, premarital mortality, and actually losing families, and probably, you know, depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, because For example, not even for example, people are actually suffering, and you cannot even talk to you can't talk to anyone. You're feeling that I can't tell anyone. I don't think I trust anybody. So I just have to stay with everything that I'm going through, and I don't have to express it to anybody. Because people actually normally use whatever you're telling them to actually make to degrade you, which is not good. So you find that if I go into depression, the next thing is you are going to bury me.
For sure.
Yeah, and I don't know what way we can use, or what method we can actually use, so that even when we have kids who were raped, we can actually make them speak up, say something. But the biggest challenge I can say with the kids, we actually trying because they're trying to talk about it. But the challenge with uh, cerebral palsy kids, or with people with disability, it's getting a little bit harder, because how will this person tell me that I was raped? How will this person tell me that someone came and violated me? How will I even express it? Because number one, some of them don't have speech. Some of them will actually express through the gestures, and you will not even understand because you don't know anything. For example, let me talk to the world that I'm in, the deaf fraternity. You don't know sign language, but I'm trying to talk. But then, me as a deaf person, I don't trust you. I am not sure whether I'll give you this information and you're going to help me. I'm not even sure what is going to happen. So if I keep quiet and I don't talk about it, I don't do anything, then definitely it's going to be worse.
What are the steps someone should take when they realize that they are a victim, or in that period, or that they're a victim of gender-based violence?
Well, talk to someone who you trust. It may be your colleague, it may be your friend, it may be a religious person, a religious leader. Yeah, talk to someone. If you feel that this is not even working, try and get someone from somewhere who maybe you think people don't know about him, or maybe they don't know anything to do with you. Talk to them, tell them what is happening, tell them this and this and this is happening, and try to speak up, because that's the only way it can happen. That's the only way you can actually be able to express your feeling and what you're going through. And the other thing is, we have a gender desk. Go to the gender desk, tell them this and this is happening. Besides, though, we find that sometimes this the gender desk is not helping sometimes, because when you go there, and probably, let me say, they just look at you and they're like, why were you violated? So they start asking you questions instead of intervening and helping you. The other thing you can do is look for, we have so many CBOs that are actually dealing with issues, mental health, gender-based violence.
What are CBUs? For
CBO,
people who don't
sorry, they're community-based organizations. Look for an organization and associate yourself with it, so that when you have an issue, you can actually talk to the leader. Because me as a leader establishing a CBO, it's I am having a good thing to help people. My mentality of having this is because I have seen the ills that are happening in the society, and that is what we want to curb. So come talk to that person and express everything. The other thing is, if it's a rape case, definitely, if you have ability, if you an adult who is raped, then the first place to go is at the police station or to the hospital. Get a P3. Go, don't change, don't do anything. Just go and report the case and follow up. I know we have a lot of cases that are not even followed up after a rape case, but have faith, trust in the process. Yeah, trust in the process. Go try the best you can. If it is not working, we have the court process. You just say that this and this happened to me, I reported, and it is not even followed up. If that is not working, we have some of the legal officers who are actually working for the community-based organizations that are helping following up. And I would like to actually applaud one organization that I know, it's called Gifted Community Center. This is actually the work for, they do normally advocate on matters sexual reproductive health for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And they have actually made sure that we have a legal officer on time. If this and this happens to you, please just come talk to us. We are going to follow up. We will make sure that you get justice. Those are the few things that you're actually supposed to do. And at the end of the day, you will get justice and life continues. I know it's a little bit hard because it's a traumatic moment, but also seeing a counselor is also going to help. Yeah.
Okay. What advice would you give for someone who has just experienced GBV and maybe they're scared to speak up or they're going through the emotions? What would you tell them?
What can I tell them is get a trusted person to talk to every now and then. I'm a girl's mentor. I'll give you a scenario. I'm an alumni of the Horror School for the Deaf. It's an integrated school. So we had girls who are violated from home, but their parents are not listening to them because a child just come and say, Fulani is doing this and this, and then the parent is like, no, that cannot happen. They're trying to hide.
Yeah.
So these girls were actually going to school, and one of the girls got pregnant, and she wanted to tell the mother that, you know what, I'm pregnant, and it's because I was raped. And I was unable to tell you because I don't know how you will understand me. Number one, you do not listen to me. So this girl went to school pregnant, and then when she was in school, so now the teachers realized that this girl is suffering. So when they just tried to intervene, and the girl was not even ready to talk about it, and she was like, how will I even explain it? I just came back from home, and now they will start saying, like, this is the actual situation, that this is what I do when I go home for holidays. And the girl, when she was taken to the hospital, or they found out that the girl is pregnant, and now they wanted to call home and ask the mother to come for the kid so that they can see how they can do it. Sometimes the schools does not allow pregnant girls to be in school. Something that we are trying to fight and giving these girls a second chance, so that they can actually get education, because being pregnant while in school, it's not easy. Yeah. So this girl came talk to me, and she told me, when I went for mentorship program, she came and told me, I just want help because I did an abortion because my mom wouldn't listen to me and because the teachers don't want to listen to me. And I asked her, how did you do this abortion? I did it right here in school.
What?
I've been bleeding, and I've used my sanitary towels. I've borrowed sanitary towels from fellow students, and the situation is getting worse. And I asked her, why wouldn't you talk to the principal? I think the principal would be in a better position to help. If all other teachers and matrons are not helping, why wouldn't you talk to the principal? And she was like, I am scared. How will I even go and sit there and tell the principal, I did an abortion, and so I need help. So it's a little bit hard. So I talked to the girl and I asked her, why don't you give me your phone number so that when I go home and once you close for holidays, we can talk. But for now, make sure you get a way out to go to the hospital and express yourself. If you do not want to tell the matron or any other teacher, just ask for permission and go to the hospital. You will get a nurse or a doctor who is going to help you. And she said it's fine. After that, then we went back again for the mentorship program, and I found this girl and she was okay. So I realized one thing that I would like you to do, if you are going through something, you have been violated, you're going through mental health issues, you are having anything that is bothering you, just look for a trusted person and talk to. And at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. It's not okay, but you will be okay. Yeah, you'll be in a better position. You'll be able now to say that if I actually kept quiet, then maybe things would have been worse.
Yeah.
But speaking up will help.
What are some of the solutions to GBV?
Sensitization, creating awareness at the same time, and also trying to know the cause rate of the gender-based violence, and also end most of these cases of rapes. And actually, we actually talk to the people who are the youth, not youth, actually kids sometimes, but we are not talking to the parents, because if my parent understands what it is, then anytime I will go to report any case that has happened to me, she will be able to know and we will be able to follow up. So let us do sensitization to both you, the children, and parents. Let them know what is happening. The other thing is at least look for resources and try to provide technical skills to everybody. When you educate a girl at a younger age, this girl will grow knowing that I can be independent. As much as I would one day want to have a family, I can be independent. So I have skills. I can do this. I can get money. It's not a matter of me going to bow down to someone to give me money. No. If I have these skills, then I can. Also, we need to talk more on education, and I love the curriculum that is actually being the curriculum that we now has been introduced, and actually they did the reforms last week. That they gave the report on the reform that was being done, and the curriculum is so okay because we are not looking at what number are you coming, brother. We want to see what skills do you have, how best can you perform in this? If we amplify on this, then what are you going to become? And that is going to help us to end gender-based violence and teen pregnancies. The mind is going to be busy.
Yeah. So I think also sensitization is a very good way to help. And you wear very many hats. You're also a sign language interpreter.
Oh yeah.
Where did this come from? Where did the passion of sign language come from?
Sign language is a beautiful language. I once saw it happening. We have an aunt who is a sign language interpreter. She's the one who introduced us to sign language interpretation. She used to have friends who would come to visit her at home when we are having family gatherings. And so when they're communicating, all of us, we are just looking at them and we're wondering, wow, so you mean they can understand each other? But just throwing hands? And we were like, okay, we won't try this.
Yeah.
So my sister went for sign language. I also did, and some other few people from my family. And I joined Reverend Morrisco for the Deaf. And I didn't know sign language. All I knew was alphabets and this. I was like, I want to learn sign language. Yeah. But I got two friends who is Jiswerimo and Bill Tani. They taught me sign language the very first time, and I was like, I'm feeling like I know this language. So after that, then I was examined because it's an integrated school. So all of us, whoever wanted to do sign language, was examined, and I actually scored good in it. I got good grades in sign language. After that, I decided to now pursue as a career, and I did it at Current Technical Training Institute for the Deaf. And then I joined them. The rest was sign language interpreters. And I am so happy to say that I'm a sign language interpreter at TV47.
Oh, that's
right
nice.
Now. Yeah.
Before we wind up, can you send for us your name in sign language and anything else you'd like to say in sign language?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Simaloi. My surname is this, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm a gender activist and teen pregnancy advocate and early child marriage advocate as well. And I love you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation about gender-based violence. Let us continue talking about it. Let us create awareness. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms at News Unplugged KE on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I have been and will always be your host, Gabrielle Mosa. You can tell them where they can follow you or more about your social media platforms.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to say this. I was nominated as Activist of the Year at Jamhuri Awards Kenya. Now, we are at countdown, 8 days remaining. Go to my Twitter. You will get the process. It's star 483 star 2022 hash. Vote for me. One vote goes for 10 bob. And the minimum you can vote is 5 votes. That's 50 bob. So you will get me on my social media as Catherine Simaloy. Twitter is at Simaloy1. Instagram is at It's Simaloy. And Facebook is Simaloy Kate. Yeah, I think LinkedIn is Catherine Simaloy.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you've had a good time. See you until next time. Bye.